Alrighty.
Are we there?
Yes. Hi. Hello to the YouTubes again.
Yep, there we are again now.
Now,
Let me stream this son's a bitch.
Randall's trying to cast it to the TV in here so he can see since we're just doing it. We keep changing things all the time.
Yes.
So
Evolving.
I know. That's what I'm just saying. We're. Oh, hello.
Ooh. Hello.
What you think?
All right. I can dig it. I'm gonna stay looking that way and never at the camera. All right. This is great.
All right. So welcome everybody. Married AF podcast here. This is going to be episode 97.
Yes, it is.
We are oh so happy to be here.
Yeah, just released the one with Adam Simmons, which was a doozy.
That was so much fun. So much fun. I haven't gotten to the end yet where I stormed out because the Saints.
But that worked out.
It ended up working out, yes, but then the next game not so much with Drew Brees getting hurt. I'm very sad about it. 6 weeks without Brees blows fucking ass.
I'm gonna be honest. I like our setup though. I think it looks good. Looks real.
Which the reason I'm talking so much at the beginning and not Randall, because he usually is because he's just
watching,
taking it all in, watching his own back on the TV because the camera's on the other side of the room and then the TV's on this side of the room. So you're just going to look at the back of Randall's head.
And it's like watching something for him because it's a little bit behind.
Well, yeah, there's going to be a delay when you're doing it like that, but sure.
So I like it. But no, so welcome to episode 97. I guess we can go ahead and knock out a few sponsor talks, some goodies.
Yes. Oh, and we need to, so we're going to do again, because we didn't do a creature feature when we had Adam on, which I totally remembered like after the fact. And I was like, I'm not even going to try and pin Randall down to record an intro because we all know how that goes. And by we all, I mean like me being like, we need to record an intro. And Randall's like, it's fine. And then a week later, we do it when we do a next episode. So I just said, fuck it. We'll do 2 again, like we did the last time. So that being said, we have the creature feature that we missed last week. So this is another show on the Civilized Creatures Network that we're featuring is Welcome to My Show with Michelle Guild.
Did we miss that one?
We did.
Oh, well.
Because the last 2 we did, remember, we doubled up on Cinemondo and the Bear Cave, and then the one before that was the Untrained Eye.
Yeah, welcome to my show. You guys should know that one now. It is fantastic, and it's a great show. We love it. Michelle's awesome. You should already be checking it out. If you're not, shame on you.
Yeah, she is awesome. I haven't gotten to listen to her new show that's come out since she got her boyfriend.
Wow. Today, she ripped Podcorn a new asshole. Because they went under.
Wait, so her new episode already addresses that?
Yeah. She murdered it. So everybody check that out. It's like a 22-minute episode, and it's fucking awesome. It goes, it's great. Like feels like it's 1 minute long. It's funny the whole time. She's extremely talented in so many ways, and you'll love it if you check her out. You won't regret it. Also, there's a guy on our network. Supposedly, his show's called Bearded Dad.
Yes, that's the other creature feature. We don't know
if he exists or not. That's up for debate. He releases a show every 6 months.
Maybe it's exclusive to Podbean, guys.
Yeah, he likes to leave them wanting more.
Yes, but we love Shane. He was on one of our Civilized Creatures Network game nights recently, and we had a blast. And I say recently, that was probably like a month and a half ago now. But
it was fun.
Time goes by so fast. So yeah. The other shows on our network are Drinks with Larry.
Yeah, we've got the Bear Cave that's coming in hot with John Buchanan.
Hey, are you recording an episode with him tomorrow night on the Bear Cave?
I think so, unless something's changed. You
awesome.
never know with John.
We also have Picks and Bones with Eric Moore and he was just a guest on the Po Boys podcast.
Great episode. Check that one out. I enjoyed the shit out of that also. And What's in Your Hometown?
Yeah, which I was recently a guest on, and if I don't say so myself, I thought it was a pretty fucking badass episode.
It was. We got The Untrained Eye.
Yes, and we have Cinemondo.
Yes, we do. Cinemondo is a very excellent show all about movies and pop culture.
Oh, what is
There's your shot. This is the
gigantic shot glass.
This is the purple pussy pounder that I created just for us tonight.
Yes.
Some monkey head vodka. Look at this cool ass fucking.
Yeah, that's nice.
We'll tell you how it tastes right here. Probably like shit.
I mean, I like the shot glasses too. They're like monkey heads, but they're giant, baby. That is full.
Cheers.
Ooh, cheers.
Love ya.
Love you. Mm. That was like a 2-gulper shot. That's huge.
That's a big shot. It's good though. That is good vodka. You can tell the difference. And unlike whiskey, where it all tastes like shit, even the expensive ones, the better vodkas taste better.
That's absolutely accurate. Yes.
That's an more expensive vodka.
I think it must just be like, some people like cilantro tastes like soap to them.
Which is weird, but yes, I have heard of that.
I think that like with us, I think it must be something with whiskey where it's like it all tastes like vomit, dog shit, gasoline.
Oh, we hate it.
Like it might be that same kind of thing because I don't understand when people are like, "Oh, this whiskey's better than this." I'm like, they all taste like shit.
They do
equally awful.
I've tried all the bourbons, all the scotches. Tequila's the same.
Tequila's the same way.
Whiskey. Mm-hmm. Tequila, though, for some reason, I can take more than whiskey.
Nope.
Like a shot of tequila, it's still terrible.
Nope.
But we did so many shots of tequila at Catalucci when we were all going a lot with the Patrons and shit with Marshall. Way before you would puke on whiskey shots before tequila shots.
I hate fucking tequila too, though. But we sure did, and we took shots of Jaeger when we would go snowboarding too. That would just warm you up from the inside.
Well, yeah, Jaeger's doable, but it just tastes like youth. It's not as good.
Scotch is not the drink of the gods. I'm sorry.
I wish it was. I want to be cool.
I want to be
able
too.
to be like, yes, can I have a Scotch, please, with one rock in it?
My mom used to drink Scotch and water on the rocks.
I believe that. Your mother's a gangster, and she was definitely a champion drinker, but I can't do it. I've tried. Yeah. I remember when I traveled a lot for work early in my career, and I would go into restaurants or bars. It would just be me. I'd be like, I'm going to be the mysterious traveler. I'll take a Scotch, sir. And I would get the glass. It would look cool.
And then you'd be Sheldon.
I would take a sip, and then I would spit it back in just like Sheldon and be like, nope.
It's yucky.
Can I have a daiquiri, please? Thank you.
Or a mojito.
It's ridiculous.
No, you used to do vodka tonics after I met you and had made you drink one. And you were like, oh, this is good. And then it was downhill from there.
Those were deadly.
Those were the death of
your vodka drink for me is a bad drink.
In large quantities.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Down to drinks.
If it tastes good and we go down that slippery slope. All right. So we have now, all right, we got our Civilized Creatures fam sponsors. We are brought to you by, as always, Hoax. I want to say it like Stewie says whipped cream on Family Guy. Hoax, because it has the WHAX.
Yeah, do yourself a favor and get some luxury lubricant. Quit playing with this bullshit ass stuff that you're using now. That's subpar. Treat yourself with some goddamn respect and get the luxury lubricant.
Yeah, it is.
It's viscous.
Yeah, it says it's carefully formulated to moisturize, enhance the experience, and amplify euphoric sensations. What?
And it will stay where you want it. That's the key. That's the viscosity, and I think the method behind the madness, because
so that you're not slick taint McRandy.
Yeah, they don't stay in place, and you're just kind of lubing everything by proxy.
You are. So go to getwax.com, getwhax.com, and use promo code AF20 and get yourself 20% off. We're also brought to you by Vital Tattoo Care. Tattoo products that are organic, no parabens, no alcohol, no synthetic shit. It's all made to order. We have some tattoo butter here that I've got some in the bathroom. I need to lotion up some of mine, but go to vitaltattoocare.com and use promo code marriedaf. We had to correct that. Thanks to the Duchess for going to try and order some. And she was like, this isn't working because our promo code that we were originally told. So we got that corrected now. Married AF, get yourself 10% off. And we are also brought to you by Underzips. Baby, I'll let you take that one.
Yeah, Underzips are the shit. I'm really going to have to order another pair just because we've washed them so much. The color is leaving. Not like they're holding up fine, but there's no color could withhold. They're washed like every day because I wear them every time they're clean.
Yep. And I do laundry every day, so they're in there just about every other load.
Yeah, and I go through 2 or 3 underwear a day minimum because I go to the gym first thing in the morning. That pair is trashed after the sauna and everything. I mean, they're soaked. They can't wear those.
Correct.
Those are gone. Got on new fresh ones when I leave the gym. If I come home, work, if I do any yard work, those are trashed because it's 100 degrees here in Georgia.
Still.
And it's my nightmare. So those are trashed. So I put on a third pair. Then when I shower at the end of the night, boom, there's a fourth pair sometimes. So as many as 4 pair of underwear a day.
Well, you're lucky your wife is good at laundry.
Yeah, well, you're lucky your husband cares enough about keeping his shit cleaned and not all damn swampy dick.
Well, you'd have mud butt, swamp butt.
It wouldn't be mud butt.
Swamp butt.
It'd be swampy ass and dick.
Yeah, that's gross.
I mean, I can't do that.
No, that's not comfortable. So Underzips. Yeah, we need to get you another pair of underwear from them. Use promo code Randy.
Yep. And we've also got BioBidet. Wash your ass.
Yes.
We believe in ours, and we believe in you. So
wash your butt. Go to BIOBIDET.com and use promo code MarriedAF for 10% off. And then we also have effing gear. Go get yourself some sweet shirts, hats, what have you. I got a cool sticker on my computer for like $3.
Yeah, and we got our winner of the free hat was drawn. It is my boy from Angry Dad Podcast 1. I've sent his information over to Effing Gear so they can get him his free hat.
I don't even think I realized we had it. We had a net weight.
Yeah, we had a free hat giveaway with them.
Oh.
I put it out on all the socials, and then Drew, the person that had done all the criteria. And I love Angry Dad Podcast. Shout out to his show. If you want quick blasted podcast that'll hit you right in the tits sometime, if you need to hear it, check it out. His new one was I'm Fucking Tired, and it was a great episode. So check him out. I think he's out in like San Francisco, but what a dude. His YouTube channel is awesome. He's like a professional eater. He's the guy that ate 20 10 packs of chicken McNuggets in one sitting.
Okay.
He ate a whole, I think, 2 large pizzas in a sitting, which is impressive to a lot of people. To me, I get that one. I could, but he was like, I'm a little full. Where I would be straight on the throne. I could probably do it, but I
don't have a gallbladder either.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. He's a pro eater.
And his YouTube channel's B to the fourth power, like
B to
2th 4
the power. And his YouTube channel is cool as shit. So follow him and shout out to him. Glad he won the hat. He picked out a cool ass fucking hat, one that I like. So
which one is he getting?
He is getting the black camo.
Sweet. For everybody else, go to effinggear.com. That's EFFINGGEAR.com and use promo code MarriedAF for 10% off. And we done. We're out of here. Bye. I'm just kidding.
So that's it with all the sponsors. So I was wanting to kind of catch up on some current events. We didn't even get to talk about this just because we've had so much going on and different guests and shit. But actually, is it on here? Perhaps. Yes. All right. 9/11 just happened. The anniversary.
That's right. Did we not record since then?
We have, but we didn't discuss, like, we had so many other agendas. We never just talked. We were
talking about to Adam, I think. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. It's crazy. It's been 18 years.
I know.
18 fucking years.
But I was just wanting to share, everybody's doing their sharing on social media about like where they were when it happened. And I remember for me, I was driving to work for GTE in a mall kiosk. I was a cell phone salesman in a mall kiosk, and I was headed to work in my Geo Tracker.
Hell yes. What color was it?
Red with a black rag top.
I was going to say, they're always multicolored.
And I was heading there.
How the fuck did you fit in a Geo Tracker?
I was much smaller then. And I think I heard it on the radio, maybe. Yeah. And then still didn't really understand it. Got to the mall. We had very early internet in the kiosk.
Right.
It was dog shit.
It was dial-up probably because I had AOL at the time.
Yeah, it was terrible. But I was able to see that, yes, something happened. Still didn't know the exacts of it. Right. And then when I saw the mall opened, everything but New York and Company. Because I
know, but like I'm surprised the mall opened at all.
Yeah, just the other stores didn't open, and so that kind of sealed it that something happened in New York and all the put it all together. And then by then people were talking, and it's fucking crazy. But watching it back now, we were laying in bed the other night.
Are you gonna let me tell my story?
Yes, but I wanted to say this before I let you go. Was we were watching one of the mini, 9/11 lookbacks, and even watching it again, I get more anxiety from it now than when it happened. That's just because my anxiety has gotten worse as I've gotten older.
Oh, me too. Same. It was devastating and overwhelming at the time, but every year that I watch, and I feel like every year there's a lot of the same like specials that come on about it and stuff, and I'm immediately drawn in and like enthralled with whatever it is. But like I feel like little bits of new information and things that I hadn't heard before, like every year, something new, just little bits, like less and less, of course, because it's been 18 years, but like it just surprises me every time that like, how have I not known that yet? Like that story or whatever,
Shout out to Chad Fackler. Jen Fackler just said he also had a tracker.
Hell yeah.
It's another reason I love those people.
It's obvious.
Congratulations to you, Jen, on your over the edge.
I know that
domination of your building again. Cape was excellent.
It looks so high up. Randall would. Nope. I would do it. But
no, it looks fun. But go ahead and finish your story. I just want to shout them
out. Oh, I can say my story where I was now. I was still in college because I was on a little bit longer plan. I didn't do the 4-year plan.
No, you did not.
I didn't do summer school. I refused. So I was still in college. I was at UGA and I had woken up for a class. I didn't know what had happened when it did. So like I had like a 9:30 class and it happened at 9 a.m., right? The first plane.
Something around then.
So I woke up in my bedroom, got ready, got in my car to go to class, had a CD in. So didn't turn on a TV.
Did you have one of those huge books with like?
Of course I did. It was 2001, and I had the
baseball card holder.
I was and I also had like a 10-disc CD player. In my.
It's a disc changer, man. You had a 6-disc CD changer.
It was a 10-disc changer in my. I think it was in my trunk. It was in my Plymouth Breeze. Yeah. Which is who my dog was named after because that car got totaled. But when I still had my Plymouth Breeze, so I never turned on a TV when I woke up. Didn't turn on a radio because I got in my car, had a CD playing, drove to class like a mile away, and got into class and everybody was like shaking their head and like, man, I can't. And I was like, I know, right? Because we had like a pop quiz or something. Like was so confused. I was like, what's going on? And felt so fucking stupid when they like really started talking about it. Like somebody said something to me and I was like, I'm sorry, what happened? Like what? Like a plane hit a building? Like what are you talking about? And then they turned on a TV in the classroom and pretty shortly after everybody got there, the teacher came in and was like, hey, classes are canceled today and indefinitely. Like, we'll just let you know. It's because it was like all.
No, nobody knew what the fuck was else going to happen.
Well, so they wanted everybody. They didn't want like college campuses or like any large concentrations of people. They didn't want that happening that day. So they canceled classes. I was only like, I was at UGA like South Campus because I was animal science major. It was literally like a mile and a half from my house. It took me 2 hours to get home down like one road trying to get back to my apartment because everybody was leaving campus at the same time. And actually my dad had just traveled to Boston the day before for work. And I knew that. So I was trying to call my dad the whole like sitting in traffic for an hour and a half, 2 hours to get a mile away and couldn't get in touch with him. It kept like going, like it wouldn't connect. Mm-hmm. And I was freaking the fuck out. I mean, this was like early cell phone days. I remember I had like a little Motorola, like it was like,
oh no, I was selling those.
It was the InSync phone. It was like the light blue, like Motorola. I think Susan called it the InSync phone. But I was losing my absolute shit and it was more on my side because everybody on campus was trying to call out because they were like, classes are canceled. What the fuck is going on? And by the time I made it back to my apartment and was able to get to my landline, because gather around children, we still had landlines in 2001. And I was able to call my mom and make sure and confirm that my dad was okay. He wasn't on any of those planes because, you know, one of the planes I think was leaving Boston, wasn't it? One of the ones that crashed in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
So once I confirmed all that, then me and my roommates just sat on our couch and watched the news and cried all day.
I was headed from Boston to LA, and they did that purposefully so the planes would be full of more fuel.
Yes,
so and they would burn longer and hotter.
We sat there and cried all day, and then I had to go to fucking work that night and wait tables. And literally, I got to work. Nobody was going out to fucking eat that night. Like we just sat there.
Nobody knew if we were at war or not. It was crazy.
It was insane. It was the most insane day ever. And once I got to work, nobody was coming in to eat. So we all just sat at the bar and kept watching the news and like kept crying and being like, what the fuck's going on?
What's weird is Beth just said she watched a recent documentary about Jumping Man, the people that chose to jump instead of burn to death in the buildings. Mm-hmm. And I think I've seen the one she's talking about. What a horrible decision I have to make right there. But
I know. I cannot imagine the footage of the people.
Shows you though, like when you're younger, just how much more you can take because I had to cut it off.
I know.
I had to cut it off literally the other night. So I was like, I'm gonna have a fucking anxiety attack. Yeah. Where, you know, younger days you could handle it. I don't know, and that may just be me, but Jesus, it was bad. But it gives you a new. Also, as I've gotten older, I watched the thing back on W and Air Force One in the air.
That's one I haven't seen yet.
No matter how you feel about your politics with W and any president, whatever party they would have been,
whoever would have been,
time,
I mean, Jesus.
If you watch the president's reaction, it's unreal. Especially as you get older and you can kind of take it all in. Mm-hmm. When they told him and he was reading to those kids and you saw the change on his face.
Yes. Like, oh my God.
I don't know. It's crazy.
When they come, like he's literally like reading to like kindergarten kids. Yeah. And then they whisper in his ear and you just see him like tense up, but he can't freak out. You know, like if that's me, I'm like, holy shit. No, getting up, running out of the room. And he's like having to sit there and like try and process it and figure out a way to like gracefully exit.
Yeah, and that Secret Service agent had to make the most career-defining decision of his moment because they were interviewing him, and he said there's a rule
that you don't interrupt the president.
Yeah, no one has ever interrupted a president. No Secret Service agent when they're in the middle of something.
In that situation,
I know. I'm just saying. Yeah. He had a precedent, and he had to make the call.
Yeah, no, that's tough though. If that's
reach over and whisper, and so for a second. The president was like,
what the fuck?
You're gone.
Yes.
Like when he felt him leaning into his ear, like you're fired.
Yes, absolutely. Especially if that line has been set, like when you're in your Secret Service training, like you don't ever do this. It was either like his first thought was like, you're fucking fired, or like, holy shit, the world's ending. Like,
oh, I know. His face looked like
it's the world's ending one, but like
what I saw on his face was, I'm about to make the decision of how many people live and die.
What was the name of it? Jen Fackler's asking.
Up in the Air, Air Force One. That one is what it's called.
Yeah. And then the other one with the
is Jumping Man.
Jumping, yeah. Ugh. Up in the, it keeps that was on our homepage of Hulu. Like every time we get on Hulu the other day. Oh, I haven't watched it at all.
It was the one I was watching where you remember the Secret Service agent.
Well, baby, no, I've seen that footage a million times from
I thought you were recalling the part, because I was watching it while you were showering, and then I had to cut it off, so I thought you had absorbed some of it.
No, I'm just talking about, I've seen the footage of the guy coming in to tell W.
Yeah, I mean, up in the air, the captain that flew the plane,
yeah,
for one, they were taxiing to take off, and there were so many rumors, nobody knew what was going on. They thought a sniper was at the end of the runway, so he had to turn and do a direct descent, like steeper than any plane should have to do, to get them up in the air, get them up as high as possible. Then once they were in the air, they didn't think they could land anywhere, because everywhere the air was under attack. It was like the least safe place to be.
Or didn't they feel like they were going to get shot down?
Yeah, they were worried about
that. Now they're like
the
sitting ducks in the air. Yeah. Well, I saw the commercial for it where they were saying like, I saw like pictures of them like looking out the window, like on the plane, just like terrified. I mean, yeah. Ooh, I got chills.
No, the whole thing is
no.
I haven't
harder seen that
to
one.
Process. You think it gets easier? It gets harder. It gets tougher for me, and all politics and all that bullshit aside. It's just a terrible, terrible time.
Well, and it's hard. I mean, I think for me, I know why my anxiety gets worse as I get older. It was the second I had a kid.
Well, of course, that's a huge. You become a parent.
Yeah, that changes everything. I think naturally it gets worse as you get older, and then throw a kid into the mix, and it is amplified by a million. So that's part of how my anxiety gets worse with it, and just the sadness gets even worse with it year over year. But I was glad that they didn't shy away from talking to Gunnar and his class about 9/11 a little bit, like they at least mentioned it. He got in the car that day with me and said something about bad guys that knocked down some towers today in history. And so I went into it a little bit more detail, and I showed him because I told him that about the plane, the plane hit the building, and then there was another plane that hit the other building while they were on the news. So he wanted to see the video part of that. So and that was did I tell you, babe? You weren't here when I showed him. I found this clip on CNN where it was like they were talking to somebody and the one tower was already on fire. And then you see the other plane fly in and hit the other one. You know what our son said? What the fuck?
I believe that.
And I was like, Gunnar, you know better than to say that word. That's kind of appropriate.
I'm pretty sure that's what every American.
Kind of appropriate, yeah.
Every American that was watching when it happened said
fuck?
That.
Yeah. But I'm like, you're 5. Shouldn't say that. But
but
that's correct.
An emotion, and
he was like, what is it doing? I was like, it hit the building. It's awful. They did it on purpose. And so I didn't go into too many details. I didn't want to get to the footage where you could start seeing the people jumping out. No, I was not ready to have that conversation with him at all about that.
No, but it's
part.
good. It's history. I mean, that's just a historical time, and it's an event that will always be in the history books. And I think it's good to get them understanding what happened, and hopefully that we've taken the measures to where that could never happen again. But it just gets more I don't know, it seems to get realer than it does every time. And I'm not a big I'm nothing against the conspiracy people, but I think it really was what it was. And
I can't even try to comprehend the conspiracy thing. I think that makes it even more awful to me.
Yeah, because no matter what your thoughts on it, my thoughts are on the people that were just at work,
right?
And then all of a sudden,
or on the plane,
they're making a choice whether they're jumping or burning,
right?
or if they're going to see their loved ones again and all that shit. And the first spot, I mean, I don't want to go down and make this a Debbie Downer.
Well, Jen had a real good, she said, I think as we get older, we understand grief more. We have a better idea of how impactful some of these things are, like the long-term impacts of some of these things. And that's exactly right. That's absolutely true.
Yeah. But the good thing is there's not a good thing, but the fact that there is now memorials built, new buildings in place.
Well, the memorial, we've seen that in person. That was beautiful. Where they have the big fountains and the footprint of the old buildings with everybody's names. It's like astonishing when you see it in person. Like, it's the footprint of the buildings. It's big. It's so big, but it's also like small when you think about
it's
like
tiny.
Because it's just the square that the building sat on, but like it's when you try and comprehend that like this huge like 200-story building or whatever it was, were they how tall were they?
I think it was more than 200.
They were fucking tall as shit. But that like the thousands and thousands of people that were in and out of there every day, and like the complexity of it when it's reduced to like a square in the ground, it's insane. But the fountains, I like them. They're like infinity fountains, and it's just
well. To the part, what I was wanting to do tonight, I'd actually made the plan.
Yes.
Was I'd done many weeks of research here. We're going to do a small shot.
Trying to get me drunk tonight, sir?
Yeah, but we're...
yes.
To America.
America, fuck yeah.
Yeah, so I was doing this thing. I got down a rabbit hole. I was wanting to see marriage advice from couples that have been married 50 plus years.
I saw you post that on social media, and I was like, okay, we've been married coming on 4 years.
Yeah, so I wanted to go to the well of people that been there, done that. So I went through tons of articles. I really researched this for like a week and a half.
Did you ask my dad?
And came up with...
Because my dad's been married for more than 50 years.
I think what I find the most common, what they say are the keys. And so I was going to go through them, and me and you talk about whether we agree, what we think. And the first one will open up a little rabbit hole that I think is funny. Yes. But it seems like the most common thing that these couples say that have been married 50 plus years say it is to accept your partner for who they are.
Absolutely. God, yes. That's number one. Yeah. Don't go into
Chad Fackler, 21 years. Cheers to you guys.
Damn. Go ahead, guys.
Oldies.
Been around the block.
So that opens up a funny can of worms I want to talk about, because when you talk about accepting your spouse for who they are, we've talked about that a lot, especially in reverse, when people complain, but it's about something they knew before they were married.
Right. I told you that was
looking for an exit.
That was the downfall of my first marriage, is that
most people,
like there were things that I knew weren't going to work, but I was like, it's fine, it'll change. But it's like, no, that doesn't, that's not how it works. No, I mean, that's precisely why I think that there's 50% divorce rate in this country, is because people go into it thinking you can change who somebody is to fit your needs. And that's the wrong way to look at it. You need to love somebody for who they are, including the things that aren't perfect or whatever.
Well, that's something that most young people, I'm not going to say all, because there are success stories.
Absolutely.
Most young people don't have the capacity to see that. And that's why, we have our rule that we hope our kids do. It's just wait till you're at least 30 to get married.
And some people can get past it, some people can like actually like within the relationship, because everybody goes through like the growing and figuring shit out. And, there's no marriages without arguments and whatever, but a lot of people can evolve past that and change together and make each other, like figure out a way to either turn the car around and make that okay with you, or, not.
Well, so I wanted to list some of my weirdest traits openly. just so people know what you're in for. Because
we talk about ours all the time.
Yeah, we talk about them all the time. There's not really many for you. You're not bad. I'm pretty damaged.
I don't know, babe.
But I put mine in a very strange order. But first and foremost,
well, that's your number one.
Most important for me is that I'll only eat one brand of hot dog, one type of hot dog within that brand, and one size of hot dog.
Hang on. Oscar Mayer, bun length, all beef.
Yep.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nothing else.
You do all the grocery shopping. So it's like whenever it's my, like if you're on the road or something and I have to do it, I freak out if it's hot dogs. So I'm like, fuck.
I will.
Because I know that.
I will only eat tri-colored coleslaw, chopped, not shredded. If it's the shredded bullshit, or if it's not white, purple, and orange.
Wait, how is the stuff you get not shredded? It's like little strips.
No, it's chopped.
Okay.
The shredded is real long. The chopped are more short.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay.
I'm not saying this is okay. What I'm doing is putting this out there.
I just didn't know there was a difference for coleslaw.
There's a huge difference. That's why most people in our family
have an anxiety attack.
Divert and either call me when they're shopping for food or just tell me to get the food.
All
right. Next thing, chicken tenderloins. I'm obsessively weird. We've never.
This is all just OCD shit, which is all mine. Which is all the things with me too are all OCD.
With chicken tenderloins, when they cut them into those ridiculous strips that are like rectangular, I can't fuck with those, and they're thicker. I need the ones that are shaped kind of like the little heart.
Wait, which one are you talking about now?
Chicken tenderloins.
Oh, okay.
When they cut them into rectangles, you'll find, especially at Walmart. Walmart's notorious for selling those. They're more like strips than tenderloins. That disgusts me. I want a fist fight. I can't eat those. They're too thick. And this goes to my next thing, which is very weird and very unmanlike. I don't like big chunks of meat.
No, you like them paper thin and well the fuck done.
Well, it depends on what it is. Not my steaks, I eat a medium. I don't need to, unless I'm in a weird mood, but I eat my steaks medium.
Burgers lately, you actually had become more normal with burgers, like you were eating them more like the boys do, because the boys eat them like regular people, like thick and juicy, and I don't even eat beef, and I'm like, that's the way you should eat a burger. But then Randall comes along lately, for some reason, is reverted back to, no, I want it super thin and burned to a crisp.
Yeah, and I got to answer this question. Chad Fackler, this is a great story. Chad Fackler, have you ever tried a Hebrew National? All right, listen. I liked Hebrew Nationals. This is a terrible story, and it's true, and there's no bullshit. Until I watched the movie Any Given Sunday, the football movie with Al Pacino and Jamie Foxx. For those of you that don't know, there's a part in that movie where Al Pacino is talking to Jamie Foxx, and he's talking about his father. And he said, oh, my dad was a mean son of a bitch. Had a dick on him like a Hebrew National. And since that day, I have never been able to eat.
Are they big or
They're
something?
longer.
Oh, okay.
And it looks like a dick to me. I can't eat one. I haven't since that day. And I think that movie came out in like 2000.
It did, I think. Had a dick on him like Hebrew. I mean, like, because they don't have like a little head on them.
No, but it looks like all I see is Al Pacino's dad with a huge dick.
That's funny.
And I feel like I'm eating his dad's dick. I'm psychopathic.
I've never known. You might have told me that before, but I don't recall that that's the reason you wouldn't eat a Hebrew. I mean, I just knew you were specific about the Oscar Mayer all beef.
Hebrews used to be there with Oscar.
And don't get it fucking twisted with Angus. It can't be goddamn Angus, right? It's just got to be beef.
It's just the beef. The
like,
Angus one's
generic, because that's the one Susan called us about one time.
Yeah.
She was grocery shopping for us, and she was like, I don't know which one to get. There's beef and there's Angus, and I thought that was the same thing. And I'm like, I'm with you.
No, when it's Angus, I picture the cow too much, and I can't do that.
Or does it sound too much like anus?
No, it's because I picture the cow too much. And this is all part of the damage. None of this is right. Again, folks, Uncle Randy has problems. These are real issues, but I'm fine with it.
We could get into all my OCD shit.
Chad said, "Wow, that's some real scarring. I'm sorry, man. So sorry. Just wow."
He is very specific. Hey. This is what all so you realize, are all these about food? These are all about food.
No, not all of them. But right.
That is the reason. The ones you've gone through so far, all about food.
Yeah.
Hence the reason why Randall is the one that cooks 99% of the time, because although, I mean, like I cook like on the weekends because to give Randall a break, but it's too much pressure, too much stress for me.
It's a lot of pressure. Our family hates to cook. People sweat. When we go to family functions, they're like, dear God, I have to cook.
Yeah. So it's just evolved into, Randall has evolved his, or he's broadened his horizons on what he'll eat and what, because he knows I don't want to eat just 3 things. And he's gotten to be a very good cook. And so but that's why I don't handle dinner. No. Because he's so picky that it's too stressful.
Well, it's funny to watch us eat together. I was watching us tonight. I made these really good chicken meatballs with this chili cranberry glaze. And they were good. They were big meatballs. So we're eating, and I'm cutting them into tiny little bitch bites. And Brooke's
I'm cutting them in half and like
1, 2, 3, and she's done eating. And I'm eating like a teenage girl with an eating disorder. Like it's weird, and I'm so much bigger, and it's just hilarious to me, and I'm fine with it. It is what it is. But I got a couple more.
Well, you're never gonna eat as fast as I do, baby.
All meats that are cooked for me must have some char on them.
That's
if there is not some char,
it's raw. It's basically raw to Randall.
Slimy. If there's no char, it's slimy. And if it's slimy, Uncle Randy can't get down with it.
Can't fuck with it. Oh my God. This is also true. Like when you list it out like this, it's like it does seem a little bit more
ridiculous. I think it's funny.
I know all these things about you, but
that's the whole point of this question, is that you have to accept who you're with. And
oh my gosh, yes. Yeah. But it's just when you say them all at once, it's like, man, you're a pain in the ass with food.
All right, a couple of things that aren't food related.
Okay.
I don't like to be barefoot on soft, mushy surfaces at all. At all. I don't like my feet, the soles of my feet, to feel squishiness.
He wears his goddamn flip-flops when he gets in the water.
If I don't have aqua socks.
If he doesn't, he will wear aqua socks, people.
Without hesitation.
Just take that in. He will wear aqua socks like a toddler. When we go to Crab Island, every year, get a boat. It's waist-high water, beautiful, clear. It's sand under there. I mean, you're on a sandbar. He refuses to put his precious
piggies.
His precious tootsies are not going to touch those hairy mashed potatoes, is what Randall calls it.
Yeah, no hairy mashed. But I'm not even a big fan. I didn't enjoy when I was doing jujitsu a lot and stuff, my feet on the mats, like the squishiness. I had to fight through that. And this is definitely an issue. Like there's something there. Everybody's got their things, but I'm just cool with talking about them. But also,
the only place you walk around bare feet is like in the house, because
I still don't prefer that. I'd rather have socks on if at all possible.
You mostly do have socks on, but I'm saying like that's how I know. Like I mean, our house is clean and we keep the floors clean.
Mm-hmm.
There's no fucking way you would, because like when we're in a hotel and stuff, I don't think you set foot. Your bare skin does not touch that goddamn floor.
No,
except for like getting in the shower. I mean, yeah, that's one that I just don't even really think about anymore.
Yeah, if we go to a swimming pool and there's bugs on the bottom, or if it's not cleaned well,
there's one leaf in the goddamn pool.
I'll hesitate about even getting in the motherfucker. Mm-hmm. I'll usually power into it, but if there's shit on the bottom, you know what? I'm probably just gonna sit out and I'm just gonna relax in the sun.
No, there was a caterpillar on the bottom of our pool, apparently.
I wouldn't go in that section.
One of the last days that it was open. And Randall was like, don't go to the other side. Well, Gunnar wanted to throw the football with somebody.
Away from that whole section.
Gunnar wanted to get in the pool and throw the football with somebody, so Mom had to do it because Randall was like, I'm not getting in. So I was like, all right, baby, I'll get in with you. I never saw the caterpillar at the bottom of the pool. Randall swears up and down it was there. I'm like, okay, babe, it's fine.
And you got all these kids that are 4, 5, 3, and they don't give two shits.
No. They'll put on their goggles and be like, cool.
Grown man's like, ooh.
Yucky.
Nope, no good.
I know. But he just says it to me. Like, he doesn't say it. Like, Gunnar has no idea. Gunnar's like, why won't Daddy get in? I'm like, he's getting a tan.
And probably one of my worst habits, though, like, if someone comes up and talks to me and I'm not interested in the conversation, I'll walk away. And I do it a lot, like at the gym and shit. Like, most people we hang out with together, we know, so it doesn't, you don't see it as much.
No, you did it when you used to work out with Jim, our brother-in-law.
Yeah, but
you used to leave him holding the bag all the time, didn't you?
All the time. Because I can't do, like, I have a thing about fake conversation, like pleasantries that are meaningless.
Small talk, yeah.
I'm not good at it. And so when people start doing it,
and you can't hear.
It's so weird for me. Well, that's become a real problem. Like, I'm coaching baseball right now. These kids telling me their names and stuff. I'm having to like pick them up and put their heads against my
he looks
ear.
at me when he's asking, like at the beginning of the season, when he's asking kids their name, and they like, they're 4 and 5 years old, and they, might have a little like speech impediment or something, like, and he'll ask him and then he'll look at me and I'm like, it's Hunter. Or what?
Chad Fackler, I agree 100%. I'm down. I would rather my chicken be overcooked than undercooked. Goddamn, that's just a rule of life. Can't risk it. I got food poisoning from a Chick-fil-A delicious
Sounds
sandwich.
Like Bethany might have too.
Once in high school, and I thought I was dead for 2 days.
That's where it stems from, right there.
Yeah, and I saw it. I bit into it, and it was pink, and I was like, "It's Chick-fil-A. It's fine." I finished that mug because it was delicious. And I was violently
How was it
sick.
Delicious, though? I don't understand that.
Because it looked like, you remember your horrible sandwich from Wendy's when we went to the beach?
Oh, God.
That's why that one bothered me so much. It looked just like that in the middle.
And I didn't finish it.
Because we're smarter now.
Yeah, true. Because we're growing. Yeah, that was that fucking Wendy's put the nail in the coffin for us ever eating at Wendy's
ever again.
No,
and
we
see,
haven't.
That's where some of my shit's rubbed off on you.
Yes.
Where you're a lot more... I've seen you get more where you'll like write shit off and be like, nope, never again.
Yeah.
But the Wendy's was so bad. I can't eat Wendy's anymore.
Never again. And that was like fucking 4 years ago. And we haven't stepped foot in a Wendy's. I think maybe we've gone through a drive-thru and gotten Frosties for, I think one time when when like, at the old house when we had the Wendy's right there but like that was it. Nothing else. Food. No food. Frosties only.
No, Jen Fackler, Kroger chicken wings for me. Food poisoning is the worst. Just kill me. No, I'm with you, Jen. The one that when I had it, like I know a lot of people have gotten like mild food poisoning. I think I got what's called the death experience.
Oh, babe.
Because I was shitting, throwing up profusely for 2 straight days. I remember I lost like 30 pounds. No shit, like 30 pounds of water. And I think I was like a junior in high school. Never felt closer to death. Not gonna death.
No, that's bad. I'm surprised you've ever eaten chicken again. Because I got either food poisoning or a stomach flu right after eating. Oh God, my mom used to make this cake that had like this apricot filling thing. Like it was really good, and I loved it. It was one of my favorites, and I don't know if I got food poisoning or if it was just a stomach flu that I got right after eating it, but it was when I was in fucking high school and I never touched it again.
All right. So I'm going to reveal my worst.
Okay. I didn't make a list of my worst
shit. Because you don't have a whole lot.
Whatever. I have plenty.
Mine, I don't even think you know about this.
Oh.
I don't even think, because it's not something.
How is it possible?
It's not something I'm proud of.
How is it possible?
When I brush my teeth,
you make a goddamn mess
every morning. Not only do I make a mess, but I brush my tongue profusely. I'm a huge tongue brusher. I believe in it.
Well, that's where all the germs and bad breath.
Yeah, I think everybody should
yeah.
brush and scrape that motherfucker.
Do it.
Brush the tongue, goddamn.
Do you make yourself gag?
I have to gag 3 times. I have to brush my tongue till I gag 3 times. On the third gag, it's a good gag, and it's almost puke, and then I know I'm done. Every morning.
I did not know that. I didn't know that the 3 thing.
It's 3 gags.
I know that you make yourself. I don't. Not that I've heard you. I figure that's just what you do.
Which I think most people go till they're gonna gag once if they brush their tongue good.
Yeah. Oh God, I used to have a roommate. Fucking. You know her. She would it was obnoxious when she would brush her teeth. Every time it was like overly like when she would brush. And I was like, oh my God, can you figure out a way to do it and not make the noise? Like, just fucking brush your tongue. Like,
yeah, but see, mine is like an intentional because I know I'm getting to a goal of the third one.
No, that's
very damaging.
Baby, that's like turning off the lights 7 times. Like, that's an
OCD thing.
For sure.
And it's also when
But if that's like really your only one, you don't do like a touch the doorknob 6 times kind of thing.
But I do a 2 snaps when I cut a light switch off.
I saw you put that in the chat earlier. I'm like, and by the way, you said of, not off in that chat.
Oh, but I do it smooth. Like, you may not even see it.
No, I've never known. I saw that and I was like, what the fuck is that? I've never seen that. No, but I've never seen that.
Yeah, I don't. It's not like I'm like. It's
1,
real,
2.
It'll be real minimal.
Do you tap your feet?
No, it's real small, but it's real and it's.
The crazy, like the OCD things that I cannot overcome, like the thoughts for me are like when I check the doors at night, like I have to, like, even if I know for a fact that I locked the back door, locked the front door before coming upstairs. If I know for a fact and I'm already at the stairs, I have to make sure I go back and look at it and see it again.
Yeah. I get it.
But it's not like a ritualistic thing. It's not like every night I have to go to the stairs 3 times and go back. But it's like, even if because as I'm like gathering my shit to go upstairs and I'm like, I know that I locked that door. I'm good. But even like for a second, I'm like, God damn it. I have to go back around the corner and look and make sure it's like, and I did that at the old house too. Like, even if like one shred of like, I would make sure I have to go around and make sure everything's locked and like open the garage door and make sure like that the garage doors are closed to the outside.
Those are pretty normal, but I know those about you. And it's funny, Chad's making the
Sheldon,
not
Penny.
I have more in common with Sheldon than people know.
He's very much Sheldon.
I always loved Sheldon.
Do not fucking sit in his spot, goddammit.
No, don't get anything twisted. There's a lot of Sheldon. I'm just not a smart guy like him, but there's we share a lot of.
So many. That's why Sheldon holds a special place in my heart. There's so Sheldon. Many. And what's funny is that at work today, Amanda she was in a very special mood today. And I've told you many times that you guys have so much in common. I'm like, stop being my husband. And today she was doing so many like crazy things that she was like, what's it like to work with Sheldon Cooper? And I was like, it's great.
Yep.
It's just glorious. Now go back to your spot.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where those things develop or come from, but I don't know. It's real. The only other thing I know about you that's OCD
is a dishwasher.
Well, no, that's normal. But your need to vacuum I don't think your night can be complete. Like, that's your settling. That's when you throw in the towel, like for transitioning.
I am very like routine based. My sanity is rooted in routine. So like every morning when I get up, there's certain things. I mean, that's why the fucking dogs don't bat an eye when you wake up, or he might even follow you downstairs, but doesn't even like get excited until they see me. Because it's like, I'm very like, everything's routine. They know that when they see my ass come downstairs, they're getting let out, they're getting fed, they're getting their medicine. And same thing as at night. Like at night after we've eaten dinner, it's like, then I go in there and clean the kitchen, make all the dishes in the dishwasher, start the dishwasher, wash everything, wipe the counters. everything has to be in order too, because then it doesn't make sense. Because you'll come in there and start vacuuming. I'm like, I haven't wiped the counters yet.
No, I know.
Get the fuck out.
And here's the thing. I'll do it all the time to help out. And we'll get to that with another question. And I'll know that I vacuumed to help out. And then I'll come upstairs
and hear the vacuum.
And I'll still hear it running again. Because for her to, it's your finisher though. It's the routine.
It's everything has to be in order, because it's like I have to wash the dishes and then wipe the counters. And then when I wipe the counters, naturally shit gets on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
So then, and then in between those, have to take the trash out, then put, and everything has to be in order so that it like finishes clean. You'll come in there and just start like wiping it makes no sense when you try and clean.
No, that's why in a marriage you kind of learn your spots, and and it usually comes natural, organic.
Yes. It's over evolved.
Time. I mean, we have our, if I go cook, and not only do you clean, but I know to kind of keep my distance from it so you can do it how you want it to be done. So you're also satisfied with the job that you did, so it no longer weighs on you. Because as I say this, I realize we're both damaged.
No, yours is regarding what food you eat. Mine is regarding my surroundings and how everything is. Yeah, I mean, that's why we're yin and yang, baby. We work together.
Oh yeah, and I cut the grass probably every 2.5 days,
and then bring all the grass in on your clothes and lay on the couch for me to vacuum off at night.
Because my OCD is no longer in the house. My job is done on the outside, and it is very tidy. I have my lines in the grass. Clearly, I need.
Oh my God, Bethany said I heard a rumor that he irons his t-shirts. 1,000,000%. Absolutely. He irons everything. He irons his goddamn jeans.
I do. I don't crease my underwear though, Chad. No, I do not. I do iron my jeans though.
He irons his fucking jeans. Who irons their jeans? Randall Fowler.
I can't personally be wrinkled, and I don't know what it is because I don't see it on other people. But if I'm wrinkled, it sticks out to me on me.
But like once you do all that and then you go sit in your car for whatever, 30, 45 minutes, an hour, whatever the commute is, or it's not completely straight and ironed anymore.
Well, I got a question for the people in the chat here that are watching. How many does anyone in this group use a washcloth or own one? I didn't think so.
No.
A bath washcloth. The only reason we even own any is for Gunner in the bath.
Yeah, and I wash him he only uses it one time, and then I wash it. We use a loofah. Loofah.
Beth uses a wash rag?
Okay.
This is interesting. So just for her face.
Yeah.
Matt has washcloths and uses. Okay, so there's some normal people.
Mm-hmm.
I do not use washcloths, and
I only use them in a hotel usually because I don't bring a loofah to a hotel.
I don't even like in a hotel. They're even worse because they're those sandpaper type. Like
no, but it's better than using your hand.
No, I just stick the bar between the cheeks under the sack.
Well, but I usually bring like body wash with me.
Yeah, I'm more of and that's the difference too. I'm a bar of soap guy.
Yeah, it dries out my skin.
Yeah, it's definitely not as good as your stuff,
but
I'm a bar of soap guy. I like to use the bar till it becomes unusable anymore, and then leave that sliver
for me to
attach it to the next one.
No, you leave it, and then when I clean the bathrooms, which is another OCD, if I don't fucking clean the bathrooms, scrub all the bathrooms once a week, like on Friday or Saturday, then I'll lose my goddamn mind. And so when I do that is when I take your scraps of soap and throw them away. You will leave every goddamn piece of soap and bottle of empty shit in the shower.
Throw them away.
It drives me. But like now I've just gotten used to it. Like at first I'd be like, God, throw shit away.
No, you get rid of them.
But now I just throw them away for you, and you don't say.
Makes it easy for me.
Yeah.
But all right, so you guys that were talking here about shaving your head and shit, do any of you like me love the feeling of rubbing alcohol all over your face and cuts and scrapes and eyes?
That's like aftershave, right?
No, but I'm talking about.
Is it like the same
alcohol.
kind of sensation
times
though?
1,000. Yeah, but I take pure rubbing alcohol Rub it all over my face, my head. It doesn't matter if I have cuts, anything. I love rubbing alcohol.
He does.
I'll do complete
I
wipe
hate the
downs
smell
of my
it too.
face, eyes, everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we go through some rubbing alcohol in this house.
I go through it like crazy because I love the shit.
Yeah, he'll douse a towel in it and rub him all over himself, and then just like, or you used to just like toss it like on top of the hamper which in the old house it was like right next to our bed. So now I might not smell it as much because the hamper's like in the closet. But
yeah, I'm also a fan of doing against the product's instructions when you can use a product for a different reason than it's intended to. Like, I'll give you an example. Everyone knows about those like nitrous oxide things you can get to like remove warts.
Yeah.
All right, it says on the package, do not use these to remove moles,
skin tags.
in any way it is deadly, blah blah blah. Bullshit. It
does
works.
Not say it's
I'll burn off anything on my body I don't like with those motherfuckers. Works like a charm. I'll do my own minor surgeries on. I've literally pulled out a whole section of my own fingernail, cutting out an ingrown fingernail before. I've cut a third of my finger off and glued it back down
with super glue. Super glue.
Not only did it need stitches, it probably needed a skin graft.
And you needed antibiotics, probably.
I've never bled like that in my life. And unfortunately, the chunk did not survive. I thought it was going to.
But no, it didn't survive.
Oh, Chad, my man. He's with me on the alcohol.
I know, yeah.
Not many people can stand it. Most people get vomit when I pull like Jim. It used to disgust him because
he's normal.
I would use it like a smelling salt. Like it wakes me up. Like I can.
No, you love it. You thrive on it. I hate it.
Thrive.
Was there more like 50-year marriage stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got a couple more.
We could talk about how weird we are. Also, how annoying we are.
I think people like that because it's the truth.
Okay. Yeah. No, it is.
It's not giving any bullshit.
No, I mean, it's people. Everybody listening is like, I don't ever want to be around them.
No.
They sound exhausting.
And just know that if we're coming over for dinner and you're cooking, the pressure is on.
It is.
From me. I'm judging.
He is immediately judging as soon as we walk in, from the appetizers to if you have chicken wings, just buckle up. They better be well the fuck done.
Yeah, if there's any
not a lick of moisture on them.
No, there's that stretchy labia skin on the chicken wings. We can't even be friends anymore. And if you eat those in front of me, we will never dine or break bread together again.
My God.
If I see it stretching, they have to be charred. All right.
He's been so disgusted with me before for eating things that he's like, I can't. You have to gargle alcohol before I kiss you.
All right, so the number 2, I thought this is probably one of my favorites. Never use your partner's vulnerabilities against them. I think that's a huge piece of advice.
So like pointing out their flaws and what.
Or in a fight, you start poking fun at me. Oh, Mr. 2 snaps when you cut off a light.
Oh,
bitch.
no.
Of course not.
That's terrible. That's just. Yeah, I mean, don't say anything. Don't ever try and call out or amplify things that the vulnerabilities or like just don't try and degrade or make your partner feel small or that's
no. But if you use something that is shared with you in the sanctity of marriage against somebody, that's a horrible mistake. But we're using it together willingly. Yes. But in a fight where it really hurts,
don't.
That's great advice.
Don't ever say things, period, that will hurt your partner.
Well, no, you should be smart enough to filter yourself if you're angry and know, okay, don't go here, don't go here, don't go here.
Yeah.
To keep it.
I know I'm mean. I know I'm the mean one and I'm a mean person, but I don't ever do that to you.
No, God, no. You're great about that. You sure don't. You definitely don't.
No, I get mad and like yell about shit.
All right.
But not at you or about you.
The next one that I think is important.
Yes.
celebrate one another just because. I think
Well,
that's very important.
you, of course, pointed that out because you're the best at that.
I'm great at that. So, of course, when I see that in the research, that's a keeper.
Yes, of course it is.
Because it kind of goes into my wheelhouse of what I like to do. I think it's very important. And so, feel free to go ahead and tell them about, other day.
Yeah, like
of course, no pressure.
But Randall's very good at just for no reason, either like getting me flowers or just buying something for me or doing something special. And I took Griffin back to Alabama on Sunday, and came home, and him and Gunnar had a baseball game, but in the course of the day they had gone and gotten me some perfume and like spent time like at the department store, like him and Gunnar like smelling things for a while,
300 of them,
and like and really taking their time and picking one out, and it's awesome. I love it. And then they bought me an orchid to put on our window in our kitchen because we don't have anything there anymore. And is very thoughtful, especially like the plant thing, because there was something.
Well, yeah, and I like, but it's good. I like to, especially now with Gunnar, is incorporating him into that. Yeah, and there's a method to that madness. And I'm not tooting my own horn here because I have plenty of downfalls and things I'm not good at as a parent, as a husband. But where I am good is I want him to see the importance of that for when he gets married or dates a young lady, that it's okay to do that. So I bring him and Griffin both their whole lives into that as much as possible.
Oh yeah,
and involve them in that process. And I feel good about it because I see it paying off with Griffin, with his girlfriend, and so I know with Gunnar, who I see every day,
yes,
it will be even more.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. No, and I know Gunnar sees you every day treating me like. I mean, Gunnar's even said, "Mom's the queen of our family." Yeah. So Randall's done a great job of setting up that whole precedent. And Gunnar had drawn me a picture. For some reason, he said it was a picture of him throwing up. And but what it said on it, Randall wrote on it, I guess what he meant when he drew it was that like, "We love you, Mom. Thanks for always taking care of us." So I guess like he was like that one time I was sick and throwing up, and you always take care of me. It's very sweet. But
well, here's one that me and you share a very common disdain for, and it has happened so much nowadays. And luckily, all of our good friends that we have and that we've met, not only in podcasting, because like I have a lot of respect for the Facklers' marriage, for what we've seen. DJ and Beth, love them. They're fucking awesome.
Of course.
But thank God, neither of those power couples do this. And we're friends with all of you on social media, so I know.
Oh, yeah.
When people gripe about their spouse on social media or to their spouse's friends, like when you see a husband griping to his wife's friends about his wife,
or his friends, even,
or anyone, but that is the number one no. Because when you start griping to their friends about them, that's just the passive aggressive way of getting it back to them. And it's such bad behavior. It's such a good barometer.
It's just such a bad
your
move.
Shit is going in the tank. And you see it on social media now. People are so passive aggressive. When they're fighting with their spouse.
I hate it so much when they're like, just, "Oh, I wish I wasn't the only one that did things around here."
Well, I know.
And something is like, "Are you fucking kidding me? You're going to post that on like social media?"
Well, see, and they're going to come back and, of course, they'll easy way against us is be like, "Oh, the shared Facebook, who cheated?" That's never happened with us. That never would happen. But it does help with avoiding bullshit like that, because it's never going to happen.
Well, yeah, but like, no, keep hating on us for having a shared Facebook. That's just funny to us, because that's not. Maybe that is the reason for some people. It's not the reason for us, and it doesn't bother us.
No, not at all. All right, so here's an important one. This is from people that have been married 50 plus years. Keep your company with positive people. I think that's really important. The older you get, even more so. Like when you're young, you can make excuses for bullshit friends, but when you get older, you get a little bit more responsible. You got responsibilities and bills and, families and kids and dogs and pets and all the bullshit. It becomes huge, especially for me. Like as I've gotten older, I share pretty open. I do a lot of anxiety and shit, and I just don't have the capability to let that shit sit on me anymore. Like I don't have the space on my hard drive anymore. Like when I was young, I used to
be able to handle people that are like draining. And you're exactly right. There's no room in our mental capacity
for their bullshit too.
I don't need. Yeah, I mean no. Like we can only handle people that like are somewhat on the same wavelength and like same.
All right.
Priorities.
Well, here's one. We'll toot where you're really good at. We did the one where I'm really good at with the celebrate each other.
Toot away, sir.
Yours would be the learn to let things go, no strings attached. Brooke's very good at that. It's over when it's over, done with, past it. Doesn't even think about it. I got some room to go with that. Obviously, I can harbor and stew on things too long. But that's one you're really good at. And that shows you how important that is, that it made this list.
Yep.
Again, this is not like a one, like I did multiple articles I read and took pieces from all of them. It's not just one.
So I guess it's good that like at least one of us has those qualities.
Absolutely. I think it's imperative.
So both of us don't have to, but
if you're both me, it would be a disaster. If we were both me with that, we would just never like.
No, and if you're both me,
would happen.
If you're both me, it's not good either, because then you don't ever address things necessarily either, like with each other.
Probably.
You just end up resenting.
That's it. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah.
Jen, same thing. Absolutely not. All right, number. There's no point saying a number because I have bounced around these things. Back to my OCD. I never go in order.
Which is so anti-OCD.
I know, and it drives my wife nuts. That's probably one of her least favorite things.
That's what I said from the top when you said these are out of order, and I was like, "That's your number one issue."
In your eyes, for sure.
With I really only noticed it when we started doing the podcast. Because why else would I have?
Yeah, it's pretty terrible.
But it's just funny. I mean, it's annoying, but it's funny. It's your thing, though. I'm fine with it. As long as we get it done. We get it done. We get through the lists regardless. So it really doesn't matter.
This one's really important. I don't really know how to explain it, but one of the most important factors in a good marriage is respect. Mm-hmm. Everyone knows that's of course right, but I'm trying to think.
It kind of goes back to what you were saying about like don't ever like call out their vulnerabilities and things like that. I mean, it's like showing respect. Like, don't be an asshole just for the sake of being an asshole. Mm-hmm. Don't treat your partner like you would treat your parents when you were a teenager. You should still respect your parents when you're a teenager, but you don't a lot of times. And that's part of growing up and learning to not be an asshole. Because you feel bad when you do that when you're a teenager to your parents. So like when you grow up and you're with somebody that's your partner that you love, you're like, I don't want to make that person feel like shit on purpose.
No, I think it's also supporting your
and backing them up. Yeah. I mean, make sure you're not specifically trying to hurt them, and also support them and back them up.
Definitely back them up. Don't make the mistake of not backing you.
Don't ever throw your partner under the bus.
What about this one? Learn to apologize.
Oh God, yeah.
Like not just the typical, like everybody thinks, dad's always saying he's sorry, or mom. I think you got to learn to apologize properly is what is the better way to say that.
And sincerely.
Yeah. And
not just be like, God, I'm sorry.
No, that means nothing.
No, but really understand, take a moment to think about if you're the one that has to apologize.
Yeah.
Really take a moment to think about what you did wrong and how you can articulate that to your partner that you truly are sorry.
Well, most of the time it's going to be something you say, right? Like something stupid that in the heat of a moment, you say something, and most of what, like, we've had arguments before where 99.9% of what I said in the argument, I stand behind, but the 1% that I didn't like what I said, I've apologized to you for. Like, after it's over, be like, and let me tell you, my bad on that part. And I mean it like that. I went in too hard right here. I want you to know I'm sorry about that. I was uncalled for. That's what I think it means by the acknowledging and apologizing.
Oh, and me too. I've done the same thing. Of course.
Yeah, always ours, for sure, Chad. We share everything, Chad Fackler. Saying in a good relationship, it's never yours or mine. It's always ours. 100%. I agree with that to the tits. I think it should be gospel down to there's nothing. I mean, we share everything openly in our marriage, and except for sexy time, we're not swingers. Despite, if you looked at our feed, we have quite a bit of swinger followers from Priority Society.
It used to be, the other recommended podcasts underneath ours used to all be swinger related.
Well,
somehow.
That was when we had a lot going on with Priority Society. But everything else is open and we share. And that wasn't always easy for me. It's just not only like me personally, but I'm talking about for me as like just growing up. I've never been like a big sharer, but once I like let my just and knew that was the right thing to do with us, it was like everything at once. I was like, okay, you got access to all of it.
It's such
every
a relief.
Bit of it.
Yeah.
Whatever you want.
No, it's the most, like, it's such a breath of fresh air. Once you get to that point in a relationship, like when we finally were at a point where it's like, oh yeah, I can completely trust this person and there's no need to, because it's not like it was, I mean, it was not far after but there was, but once we got to that point, it's such a relief. And it's just been, that part is so, it's like smooth sailing. I'm completely secure in knowing that we tell each other everything and that we have each other's back and that
that's something that to a lot of people maybe that comes naturally. I don't to me and you it didn't. And that can be because of previous relationships, maybe how we were in those relationships, not blaming anyone else, but even our own mistakes kind of forged that type of behavior. But then with us, especially because, when I was coming out of my divorce with a kid involved and all that, it was terrible. It was very hard and it was terrible. But I know the moment where I was like, I've got to be 100% transparent all the time with her, every second, every single thing. Because I mean, ever since cell phones have been around, I mean, I had a solid rule with girlfriends, everything, all the way through life, that you weren't looking through my phone. You weren't looking through my wallet. This is my personal shit, not yours. If you look at my shit, that means you don't trust me. All that's insecurities, right? And so breaking that habit, wasn't easy, but it's just funny because I piled it all when I just with Brooke, I was like, everything's yours.
Well, but and once you do that, it's not like you get home and I'm like, let me see your phone to go through it every day.
That's the funny part is that we're so it never happens. It's actually might be a bad thing because neither one of us look.
No, but that's the thing. It's like when you build up all those walls and all that, like, don't touch my shit. People, that's where it causes problems because it's like, then it's like, well, then what do you not want me to see? And then it's like that snowball, and then it just builds into distrust because they assume that there's something you want to hide. And I mean, that was same. I mean, we both did a lot of things wrong in our previous relationships in that regard. And it once we were together and realized like, oh, we just need to not, I mean, that's, we knew we completely trust each other. And then it's like, it's just a non-issue at this point. It's been so long, but
you have to, that's a decision you have to make legitimately, that those walls are good, or at least for me it was. And so, to anyone that struggles with that, it is a choice you can make. And it's almost like, when you take that, like, because for me, I would have been fine never getting married again. If it wasn't for her, I would never have gotten married to anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
I would have just been, I would have stayed with, I considered us married, but any other chick would never have gotten the ring, would never put a ring on it. So,
well, yeah, it's Bethany said her sister's husband has a problem with it, and it's like when I see that in a relationship, it makes me so sad because I'm
I can spot it from miles away,
and I can too. But and I'm just like, all you have to do is just, if you drop that, it's such a trivial thing that like can change your entire relationship. Because unless you're like really hiding something,
mm-hmm.
and you got half a dozen side pieces,
mm-hmm.
and you don't need, and if your wife goes through your phone, you're in big trouble.
Oh yeah.
If there's nothing in there, then why make it a big deal? Like, if it's not a thing, it's not a thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's
no,
that's the point. I don't ever like pick up Randall's phone and like go through it, and it's because it's not a thing. I completely trust him,
and it drives me nuts because I want you to. Like, it's funny once you're like that. I'm like, no, go ahead, please do.
No, but it's just like because what the root of it is just trust.
Well, I know, but just for an example, like I would have never done this in my previous marriage or any time in my life. But there's been times where like I'll go somewhere, me and Jim have went places or anywhere, and I'll leave my phone with you, not knowingly, and don't care.
Or you hand me your phone all the time to put in my purse.
We got drinks. But years ago, I would have been like, U-turn, slam on the gas, give me my shit. Why are you stealing my shit even though I left it? This is bullshit. You're trying to pin something on me.
Oh my god!
And it's a very exhausting way to live. It is. And so I sympathize with Bethany, and I hope that they can fix that.
It is exhausting.
It doesn't necessarily mean there's an issue. It could be an insecurity thing. Because for me, I think it was a lot with my childhood. I've always had trust issues. That's a whole nother show. I don't trust or believe anybody.
Oh, baby.
I think there's ulterior motives all the time. And that's not a good way to live either.
No.
But with my wife, I knew I had to let that go. And that's why I know this one is forever.
It was just such, but
it was all, some of that is part of it. It's not just the bullshit and fuckery. A lot of it was, that's what I believe. Like, that's my shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's my only shit. This is my world. Why don't you believe me? Oh, you're trying to fuck me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not a good way to live.
No, it's not. It does. She said she feels like they're not connecting fully. And that's absolutely right, because you don't have 100% trust, or like there's still a little bit of a wall or guard up, and it makes me sad when I see a relationship that has that component, because I'm like, oh, if you would just get past that part, it's not a matter of like being able to know what's in your fucking husband's phone. It's the trust factor. It's just it's like a whole intangible thing that and
if you could do that to me,
mm-hmm.
anyone could do that with anyone. So I'm not writing off anyone, is what I'm saying. Like, if anyone could be changed, and I was as strict as you've already heard with my bullshit, how I hold on to shit, right, and how weird I am, that I was able to be housebroken. And because now Brooke knows more of my email and passwords than I do, which is great. I love that. But I have to ask her, what's my email password?
We have so many
what's my shit
shared ones too, with like the network and the podcast, and then like you send things for the podcast to like your personal one. So I just have it on. We've got like my personal email, both of my personal emails, the Gmail, and then the other one, and then like yours and the podcast and the network, all like open at all times on this computer, because I'm like, just if you need it, it's on the laptop upstairs. Like
but as the person letting go of letting those walls down, it's also very relieving to them, because that's a very stressful way to live your life. Believe me, mine was triple fold, because it's It was just so much.
It's a significant difference because it was a little like I had a little bit of that, but
nothing like me.
No,
I was bought in. It was no bullshit.
Like
I would get angry and take it defensive, like it was just
like it was a personal attack. If anybody even but it was once that was not even an issue anymore. Like it was a noticeable difference, and there was a lot going on like in the beginning when we first met and stuff, and so there was a lot of like external factors and stressors on our relationship, and so once we were able to get past all that, like it was such a significant difference in like both of our happiness, and I think that's when I got pregnant.
Oh yeah, probably was. All right, and the last one is be each other's top priority. We preach that pretty big.
Yeah, we come first.
Not only compared to like everything in the family, but the sex life, all that is what I mean by priority. That has to be number one. Even when you have kids, and it's hard, and sometimes you forget or you'll find yourself not doing that, but that's why it takes two to keep an eye on that, where you keep each other a priority.
Well, you gotta make your relationship number one, because if your relationship isn't there and healthy, you wouldn't have had the kids in the first place.
Well, no.
And you got to be an example for your children. Like the kids are, of course, the next thing on the list is as a priority. They are together as one. Randall and I, the kids are the priority, but we as a relationship are a priority first to each other.
And you don't even have to have kids, because you can lose your relationship to work, to hobbies,
just the grind,
to anything can take the place of your spouse, if you let it. Drinking, drugs, hobbies, passions. I mean, we got friends that podcasting has hurt their relationships at times, and anything that you can dive too deep and replace your spouse with as a top priority is a danger. So you got to keep that in mind.
Yeah.
So those are all those.
Those are good.
I liked them all. I feel
agreed. I agree.
And the
with
last
all
one
of them.
is the wife should keep her butt in the kitchen like a good woman should at all times. And she should greet her husband with a smile after work.
Shut the fuck up.
And speak in low tones.
Oh, you're fucked.
And let him unwind.
You are fucked.
Well, I'm usually here because I can work from home. So,
but speak in low tones. Was that just a dream of yours to have a very soft-spoken wife?
Oh, that's never going to happen. I knew that from the jump. There's no quiet stuff.
Not a quality anyone ever uses to describe Brooke Fowler as soft-spoken.
No. Or anyone blood related to you.
No.
So it gets passed, including our gunner.
I know.
Griffin and me can sit in silence, and he can
for days.
He can get quiet like me
for
and just
days.
marinate in it. Yeah. And that's only because you two don't share any blood.
I know.
But the one that we share the blood with is just like you with that. Loud, very loud.
Loud and proud.
Lots of talking. Oh, I like that. Jen says, what my biggest advice would be: mind your manners. Say thank you. Say please. Be respectful, grateful. Use your words. Think before you speak. Think before you speak's huge. We talk about that all the time, Jen. Absolutely. Brooke's great at that. I can see her wheels turning if we're ever in an argument, like checklisting what not to do and like checking herself to keep cool despite her rage. She's excellent about that.
I try to really just being kind to each other, to me, is like number one. Don't ever try to hurt each other's feelings, which I know that was in there, like the be respectful and like don't call it. So like that's a big one for me for sure, is like I don't ever want to purposefully hurt your feelings.
No, and you see it.
I want to get my point across, but I don't want to make you feel like shit,
Yeah, but where I feel bad about it, I see a lot of our friends in relationships, and one or both they'll belittle each other in front of other people, not jokingly like busting balls, but when they're in a safer environment amongst other people, hitting where it really hurts, but lightly, and trying to put it under the guise of a joke. And that's one of my pet. Anything to me when people try to use but it was a joke when it wasn't. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Cop out, especially when it comes to relationships. You shouldn't, do that to your spouse at their expense. If anything, do it when it's just the two of you and try it, and then see where if it tanks, it's just the two of you. But if you do it in front of other people, because I can speak from experience, and so can Brooke. When we hear it as the listener, when we go home, we're going to talk about how shitty your relationship is.
Oh, like when I came home the other night and you thought I was being an asshole by being like, is this my plate?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was funny.
And then you gave me shit the rest of the night. Like,
well, that's the thing. Like when these people post on Facebook all their relationship drama, when they air their dirty laundry, they think, oh, okay, my friends are going to read it and they're going to have No, what they're doing is we're reading it. And then when we stop reading it, we talk to our spouse and be like, well, Sue and Johnny are fucked.
And being very
that one is down
sad
the
and,
shitter.
Yeah.
They hate each other. Or one of them hates the other.
Or there's trouble in paradise. Yeah.
And you're usually right. It's pretty easy to see.
Yeah. All right. Well, we need to go watch Big Brother.
Yeah, let's wrap it up. This was fun. Love you guys as usual. Shout out to all the folks that were in the chat.
Thank y'all for coming and hanging out.
Fun.
Yeah. That was so fun.
Love talking to you guys about good relationships. It's fun to have good, positive friends to see that, your marriage can be fun. It can be cool. You can enjoy each other. It shouldn't be a fucking chore. Or shouldn't be the fucking ball and chain that they try to portray out there. No. Shit can be fun. All right. Well, we love you guys.
Bye.
Suck each other's dicks.
See ya. Later.